Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akman Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. It's time in transit. This one's titled Battling the Flesh with the Spirit. Alright? And this is something just through the Spirit that was on my mind. And, it came, it's something ever since I heard it in a lesson. I believe it was by Apostle Gabar. That I really, it comes across my mind from time to time. And I can't remember the lesson in which he said it. But he was basically speaking on, how we're in this inherently sinful flesh. And, no matter, what we do, we're always constantly, having wicked thoughts. And going off, and I don't mean going off as in some giant way, like, I accidentally ate a whole pork chop. I gotta always throw that out there because Jake thinks that that's what it means, and that's not what it means. You might have, wicked thoughts or things like that. Wicked thoughts, constantly battling with the flesh, and we're not really gonna be out of that until, we're in the kingdom. Because our flesh is inherently sinful. It's inherently wicked, man. And they're opposed to each other. All right, it's like it's like when you put two magnets, all right, with the same polarity. All right, if that's right, and facing the same direction, they push back against each other. That's like the flesh and the spirit, man. All right, you can't put them together like that. They're inherently they just don't go together, man. It's not a good mix. Okay, so I wanted to go and get Romans 8. I wanted to get Romans 8 and 7, was it? Yeah, 8 and 7. I'm going to get it here in the Logos Bible, and Salaki for not being paired once again. Romans 8 and verse 7. It says, verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. Now, if you look up that word enmity, all right, it sounds, well, right off the bat, it sounds very familiar to the word enemy, okay? Well, let's go get that in the etymology online. Let's go get that word enmity, okay? Let's look it up. No item found. Well, you know what? That's a-okay, because you know what we can do? Right here. We can go and get Romans 8 and 7. And I don't even know how to necessarily use Strong's on this. So we're actually going to do it one more deeper. And we're going to do blue letter. And it was Romans 8 and 7, yeah. Okay, Romans 8 and 7. I wish the app was a little bit more like the website. If it was just like this in an app form, that'd be great, but it's not, unfortunately. So Romans 8 and 7. All right, go away. Romans 8 and 7. Let's get it. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So let's go ahead and see what that word enmity. All right, goes back to this Greek word ekthra. All right, ekthra. See how it's pronounced. I'm probably butchering it. Let's hear it.
Strong's G 2189. Echthra.
Something along those lines. I can't hear it too well because the how it is on the phone. But ekthra. All right, what does it mean? All right, hostility. By implication, a reason for opposition. Enmity, hatred. Okay? Hatred. So it's a reason for a hostility, a reason for opposition. So it's opposite. Okay, opposition goes back to the word opposite, right? Opposition, all right? To be opposed, all right? Or have a differing view to something, all right? Being different. Opposition, all right? So opposition means what? Let's go and get that, actually, as a matter of fact. Boom, bam. Saki once again. Etymology, opposition. Opposition. It says, opposition, an astrological term for the situation of two heavenly bodies, exact directly across from one another from the heavens. That's not what the one we're dealing with. From Old French opposition. All right? It says act of opposing or placing against. Placing against. Okay? So what does oppose mean? All right? Oppose. All right? Opposing. All right? To speak or act against. To accuse, to question, interrogate. To oppose. All right? To contradict, to state an opposing point of view. All right? So going back to Romans 8 and 7, now that we've gotten all those, verse 7, because the carnal mind. What does carnal mean? Let's go and look that up real quick, too. We got to get that one. All right, if we're getting definitions. All right, carnal means what? Physical, human, right? Of the flesh, right? Down here it says directly from Latin carnalis, fleshly, of the flesh, from carnis, of the flesh, genitive of caro, flesh, meat. All right, probably originally a piece of meat, okay? The meaning, sensual, pertaining to the passions and appetites of the flesh, that of worldly, sinful, and not spiritual. All right, there you go. Boom, bam. So dealing with the flesh. So the flesh, all right, carnally minded, to be minded of the flesh, to be worried about, your flesh, all right, to think about, oh, this makes my flesh feel good, this is good in the flesh, this is that, right, is what? To be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. You got to be more worried about your spirit, all right, and be more focused on spiritual matters. But again, being in that flesh, we're in a constant battle between flesh and spirit. It says, because the carnal mind is enmity, it's opposite, right? Against Yahweh, and is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. And that's the only way that we can be of the Spirit is, the Spirit of Yahweh dwelling within us, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, through that Spirit, all right? Because inherently, we're inherently, all right, which means, let's look up the word inherent. Okay, let's look up that word. Inherent, all right? Be closely connected with, all right? Almost, inherent, it's not the best definition for inherent, but, hey, what can you do, right? It's not the best definition. To adhere to, all right? To adhere to be, to be a part of, all right? We're in the flesh because we're of the flesh, all right? But we're trying to be separate from the flesh. Not, it's hard to explain it without using a bunch of same old terminology. We're in the flesh, but we're in because we're made out of flesh, but we're trying to not be of the flesh and be of the spirit. I hope that makes sense. So we can't help but be in this body. We're in this body. We can't just our soul can't just jump out of our body and say, I don't need that shit, all right, and just be spiritual like that. That's not the way we do it. All right, when your spirit jumps out your body like that, that means you're going back to go to the judge. All right, and you're going to go meet the Lord. Right? That's the only time that happens. All right, but while you're in this flesh and as we're walking, is living throughout our days, going to our jobs and supermarkets and moving around and all those different things, we're in the flesh. All right, our hands are which pushing the carts. All right, our feet are getting us place to place. That's our flesh. All right, and because of that, we're going to be having battles with the flesh. All right, there's not going to be a point where we're ever 100% not carnal minded. All right, we're gonna still, those carnal thoughts are gonna pop in from time to time because it is a spiritual battle that we're in. All right, it's not gonna be something it's perfect. Because some people might think when you're in this truth of 100% you're different, and I mean you are different, but there's certain things that you're not gonna be perfect. Okay, you're different, but you're not perfect, and that's something you got to realize when you come into this truth is that you're still gonna wrestle with those thoughts and that wickedness that's going on in your mind. Okay, it's not just going to be a magical off switch, and now that you're thinking spiritually and praying to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and you're in this truth that you're never going to have a wicked thought again. That's not how it goes. As a matter of fact, demons are going to be more likely to attack you more so. You might think that, man, I'm in this truth, I had more wicked thoughts than I ever did out in the world. Well, first of all, that's not true, and second of all, when you're out in the world, you might think from time to time, I've thought about it, and a lot of people don't talk about it, but you think about, man, I feel like, my thoughts are almost more wicked now. And your thoughts are not more wicked now. It's that you have the conscious ability to understand that your thoughts are wicked. Okay? It's back in the world, you had all sorts of wicked thoughts. We're doing all sorts of wicked shit. But the thing is, you never had the conscious thought. You never had the ability to have that, That's the word I want to look. You never had that consciousness. That's the only word I can think of it to realize, that's a wicked ass fucking thought that I'm having. I'm always thinking wicked shit. You don't think that when you're wicked, man. When you're out in the world, you're thinking, I'm gonna go smoke some weed. You didn't think that was wicked. I'm gonna go fuck this guy's bitch. You didn't think that was wicked. I'm gonna go and do this. I'm gonna go, man, I like that, man. I think I might steal that. You didn't think that was wicked. All right, so yeah, when you come in this truth and all of a sudden you have some guy, crossing you, like, man, motherfucker, I just punch his ass, man. If I had a gun on me, I'd shoot his ass right now. You might have those wicked ass hood rat thoughts still pop in your head from time to time. And the only reason you think those thoughts are wicked now is because you understand the wickedness that's behind it. Okay? Back in the day, someone would have done that shit, I'd like to shoot his ass, and then you would have just moved on. You would have never thought it was wicked. All right? And then you would have just moved on. But now in this truth, you have that consciousness to be like, man, that's a wicked ass fucking thought. Get the fuck off me, demon. Because that's demons really ultimately trying to see if you're going to act. Okay? I should hit this guy right now. Just different thoughts like that. Or I should do this. I should be malicious. I should do this thing to this person. Or I should go and tell this lie on this person because I don't like this person. Different thoughts like that. The only reason you're able to even understand that you're having those thoughts is because Yahweh Shemi Shai has blessed you with the ability to understand, to be able to take that spiritual step back and examine yourself. Okay? You can pop out for a minute, pause the movie, so to speak. And, analyze the scene. You're like, wait a minute. What I just thought was wicked. I need to stop thinking like that. All right? And then, you send up a prayer, rebuke the demon, right? But, in the world, you might not think that I don't have these thoughts in the world because you weren't thinking. You didn't have that ability to pause the tape, man. All right? You didn't have the ability to pause the tape, rewind, and look at it a little bit and be like, man, I shouldn't have moved like that. That was wicked, because you're just doing life, right? Out in the world. All right, you're worried about the flesh. You don't have the conscious thought and the perception of the spirit. Okay, that's not something you're thinking about. So again, it says verse 9, but ye are not in the flesh but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his. All right, so that means you're basically a bastard. All right, rejected by the Lord, and you don't want that. All right, and that's why we're not super happy to go through it, but we're happy in a way when we go through chastisement, we're going through hell or something like that, because we understand at least we're being dealt with by the Lord. Okay? You might have, situations at work you're not feeling. You might have situations at the house you're not feeling. All right, money troubles, health issues, wife issues, husband issues, food issues, car issues, other issues. Those are the only ones I can think of just right off the top of my head. All right, baby mama issues. You might have different issues like that, but hey, man, at the end of the day, it's good because you're going through chastisement, because you don't want to be a bastard. All right, you don't want to be a bastard. So I'm gonna get Galatians 5 and 16. I need to get it. I gotta hurry up, unfortunately. My time management lately has been fucking terrible. Galatians 5 and 18. It says, Galatians 5 and 18. It says, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. See, we're not under the law. Calm down there, bug out Bill. It says, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. It says, now the works of the flesh are manifest. So here's some works of the flesh. These are fleshly things. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery. Man, I'd like to fuck her and slack. Let me not, because it's Sabbath. thoughts like that, though. Thoughts like that, that's of the flesh. That's not a spiritual thing. You think you're I hate to say it, on Sabbath, but I mean, because it's gonna make your flesh feel good. All right, that's you thinking with your rod, man, not thinking of the spirit. All right, it's not gonna do anything for their spirit. It's just gonna do something for your rod. That's it, right? That's all adultery is about. You're not thinking about anything else, but as they used to say, thinking with your pants, right? It says fornication. Again, same thing. Fornication, homosexuality, adultery, having sex with animals. Yeah, that's not something spiritual. That's something that your flesh, you have a wicked thought, demons get on you and your flesh. Yeah, I bet that would be good. I bet that would be good, right? Uncleanness, lasciviousness, being a hoe. Again, goes back to what? Making your box feel good, all right? These women, all right? That's that. Idolatry, all right? Witchcraft. Hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders. There you go. Well, yeah, I'd like to kill that motherfucker. Why? Because he called you a bitch? Drunkenness, revelings, and such the like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. okay? And those are things you don't, and I'm not gonna say you can accidentally do it, but you need to make sure, those are for most parts, there's are certain things that can happen. You can accidentally murder, but murder isn't really accidental. They call it manslaughter here. But say if you were to, bump into someone, they trip, fall, and they hit themselves on a piece of concrete and they die, you'd get a manslaughter charge for that, in this society. You don't deserve to go to jail because you accidentally, bumped into someone. Say you tripped over a rock, you knocked this guy over, and we pushed him. It looked like you pushed him. People go, he pushed him. All right, and you fell over and you tried to, catch your balance, and this guy was there, and you pushed him over, and he hit his head on a concrete pillar, and he died. You're gonna go to jail. It won't be a big a sentence as murder. All right, but they'll be 5 years for manslaughter, or reckless endangerment or something, man. You're drunk or something like that. You stumble out of a bar. All right, someone says, someone pushes you, you knock him out, wham, you hit him in the face, and he falls over and hits his head. Manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him. Well, you were just defending yourself, but it don't matter because he died, right? That's the way that shit here, and you shouldn't be drunk in public anyway, because again, that goes back to lack of circumspection, which is another lesson I need to do, because there's a video I saved on Reddit, this motherfucker getting shot because he wanted to be big and bad, right? And hey, lack of circumspection. So, where were we here? Galatians 5 and 16 through 18. We already got it, yeah? Oh, no, we went all the way up. 16. Slocky, I got the wrong one. Galatians 5 and 16 through 18 says, "This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." And that's what we're trying to the best of our ability. Are we going to be perfect? No. All right, no one's perfect but the Father, right? Even Yahushua said that himself. Or he said, "Why callest thou me good?" All right? This says, verse 17, for the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to the one to the other. Let's listen to that again. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. And we got 19 down through 21. So, it's they're contrary. All right, that's your dictionary. Go and look it up. I could get it right now, but I'm gonna make you do the work. Go and look up what contrary means. Most people knows what contrary means. All right, it means different. Again, going back to opposition. Let's get Romans 6 and 14 through 15. Let's say 14 or 15. 14. Okay. Again, it says Romans 6 and 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? Yahweh forbid. So that's another thing, going back, because I know that scripture said, not under the law, but, you have bug out Jake say, see, we're not under the law. We're not under the law, but the law has not been done away with. All right, so what does that mean? Does that mean, we're not under the law, does that mean we can do whatever we want? No. Okay, now here's the question for you. Here's some research for you that you need to go and do, because we've talked about it. And matter of fact, unless you're a new brother or sister, you should know this right off the bat. What is sin? All right, sin is what? And I'm gonna give you the answer to this one. All right, sin is the transgression of the law. Look it up. Go look it up. Go type in KJV. Sin is the transgression of the law. Go and look it up. All right, look up sin is the transgression of the law. So sin is what? Transgression of the law. So, if it says down here in verse 15, what then shall we sin because we're not under the law, but under grace Yahweh forbid? What does that mean? What is that saying? Sin is what? Transgression of the law. So it's saying what? What then? Shall we transgress the law because we are not under the law, but under grace? Yahweh forbid. That's basically what it's saying, because sin is what? Transgression of the law. So what then? Shall we sin? Shall we transgress the law because we are not under the law, but under grace? Yahweh forbid. So just because we're not under the law doesn't mean we should break the law. Okay, it means we still have to show reverence to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, we're not under the law because we can't be saved, all right, by works, all right? By grace are you saved and not through works, lest any man should boast, all right? Roughly paraphrasing. Go and look that up. Type those words in, all right? Through grace are you saved and not through works, lest any man should boast. Because you'd have people like, I'm going to throw out a name, you'd have people like Bishop Nate, and which he still does the shit now, basically, He acting like, he only basically being over-righteous. Okay, and I'm not saying that he's saying he can keep the law perfectly, but he's over-righteous and thinking that, somehow, because that's what they always mention is the law, the statutes, and the commandments, which it's important, But they're making it seem like, you know, you can almost be saved through it. And he has a pride demon on him coming out on that horse, man. Coming out on that horse. Okay? So, hey, man, you know, that's, and you would have people like him, all right, because he already has a pride demon. You would have people like him. I'm not saying him specifically, because I'm not going to bear false witness, but I'm going to say people like him in that pride mindset that would be keeping laws, and they'd be boasting of it, saying, oh yeah, you know, I keep all the laws, la 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 la, and that's why we're not under the law. Okay, one, we can't keep it perfectly in the society because Esau has tried his damnness to make sure that we can't. All right, and two, you know, we're not perfect, so there's no way we would be able to keep it anyway. Okay, and then finally, I got to get Psalms 34 and 17. I'm gonna go ahead and close out. All right, 17, very important. How are you gonna get over this? Okay, how are you gonna overcome this and battle it in this battle? Verse 17. All right, Psalms 34 and 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Continue on, verse 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. Okay, and not afflictions are not just being sick. Afflictions are afflictions of the mind as well. Okay, battling with demons and spirits and shit, right? Battling the flesh, right? That's affliction that you're going through, man. So, hey, that's it, really, man. Battling the flesh with the spirit, okay? And that's something we're going to have to deal with, man. And just pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, get those demons off you. And it's going to be a thing that you go through, man. It's going to be a thing that you go through. And, you know, there might be times, you know, where, you know, you fasted and stuff and like that, and you still feel like you're getting messed with demons. Hey, man, hey, it's time and season. It's just something you have to go through, all right? It's building you up, right? It's building you up at the end of the day. So that's been the lesson, battling the flesh with the spirit. Lord willing, I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give, Zlakia, almost did it. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing, shalom.